Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your February 2021 astrology prediction. The month starts with Mercury, your sign ruler, being retrograde. And until the 20th of February, Mercury will be retrograde. So it means you need to be more careful in communication, in your self-expression when it comes to business or important purchases. I highly recommend avoiding the important things. And of course, sometimes we just have to do something. That's fine if you just have to do it. Keep in mind that later on you may need to reconsider or change something about it. And overall, this month is very interesting for you with lots of focus on your ninth house. You have Saturn and Jupiter there during the whole year. We have also the Sun most of the month in your ninth house, Mercury retrograde there. And on the very first day of February, also Venus is moving there. So for a couple of weeks, literally 5 planets will trigger your ninth house. That's a lot. And it's time to pay attention to your philosophy, to your plans about the future, your own belief system, and for some people also education and knowledge. Venus moving there can harmonize the situation, can bring you some fulfillment and satisfaction from doing something about those life areas and overall joy and fulfillment. But on the first specifically, there is a challenging aspect between the Sun in your ninth house and Mars in your 12th house. This is an aspect that can bring some kind of confrontations or some kind of impulsive decisions or things that feel a little blocking or something which is really annoying or irritating. Be careful with that. Keep in mind that it might be somehow related to your past. It may also be related to some kind of subconscious blockage, something you are keeping from your past. And keep in mind, we are all doing that in certain way, in certain life area, but specifically in your case, this Mars in 12th house may provoke those kind of, they're like blind spots, so you don't necessarily realize them, but they are blocking you. You may work on that, especially if you find yourself annoyed by something, irritated, nervous. Go deep, explore why is that, what is happening, and all of that. Okay, so one more moment here. All right. Sorry, my presentation. All right. Next, on the 6th of February, we have Venus joining Saturn in your ninth house. This is a very interesting combination that can make you think about justice. What's fair, what's not fair. You might be kind of irritated by that as well, because Venus will square Uranus and you may feel like it's time for a change. You need to change some of those rules, some of those principles, some of the blockages need to be released. And that applies also to some emotional blockages as well. You might be oversensitive, or you may feel like you are a little blocked. And also there might be some kind of frustration when it comes to some future plans, especially related to education or traveling. On the 8th of February, Mercury retrograde will be in conjunction with the Sun. This is an important one. We know that Mercury is your ruler, your sign ruler. And it's time to reassess your own ideas, your own perspective about the future, your plans about traveling, about the knowledge you need, and also time for some self-analysis. So lots of thinking for you around the 8th. On the 11th, Venus and Jupiter, the two beneficial planets, are joining together again in your ninth house. This is especially beneficial because Jupiter is in ninth house, and this is the house of its strongest positive manifestation. And this may just bring you some benefits, some new opportunities, some success when it comes to education or traveling, or maybe some negotiations with foreigners, and overall just gaining a different perspective or a different feeling about your future. And at the same time, you also have a new moon in your ninth house on the 11th, which is a fresh new start, which is a boost of energy and a fresh new start, which can be related to your future vision, to your beliefs, and also, of course, great time to think about education or new knowledge that you may have. On the 13th of February, Mercury retrograde this time joins Venus, aspect which can help you to make some compromises, to find some solutions to some previous problems maybe, or communication with foreigners or people who live abroad, and overall just to pay closer attention to your feelings, maybe to analyze them, maybe to, explore them from a different perspective. At the same time, Neptune in your 10th house has a positive aspect with Mars in 12th house, and this can be a very harmonizing, very creative energy, which can bring inspiration that you can use in your work, in your business. It may feel like it's coming from the invisible world, or it's just an intuitive insight that you have. Follow this, commit to this, especially if it's about some kind of social project or your business and your work. On the 14th of February, we have Mercury retrograde joining Jupiter this time in your ninth house again. It's a great time for some new plans, new vision, new strategy, new concept about your future. Reevaluate things and work with your limiting beliefs. This is an amazing time to dig deeper and really find those blind spots that have been controlling you without even realizing that. So change of perspectives, change of plans, new vision about the future, and some positive achievements. On the 17th of February, we have one of the most important aspects during the whole year. Saturn in your ninth house will square Uranus, which is in 12th house. This combination requires from you to find the balance between innovation and looking at the future, and at the same time stability and trying to keep things the way they are. It's especially important when it comes to your future plans, your goals, your vision, education, knowledge, information, wisdom, all of that. You really need to find the balance and also work with your subconscious mind. With Uranus in 12th house, you might be able to kind of like crack open something that has been blocked for you up until now. So some kind of spiritual work, some kind of deep internal research can be very beneficial. And overall, just expect some surprises, something unexpected, and some kind of limitations that you may need also to respect. On the 18th of February, the Sun moves to your 10th house, which brings the focus to your career. Time for business, time for career focus, and also time to make your efforts visible for other people. You might be more appreciated, people may acknowledge your impact or your effort or your achievements. Overall, the next 1 month after the 18th is time to attract attention and to do something meaningful. On the 19th, there is a challenging aspect between Venus in your 9th house and Mars in your 12th house. Some possible confrontations or emotional exaggeration. Also, you need to pay more attention to your subconscious mind. Mars in 12th house can trigger some kind of suppressed emotions or things that you've been trying to avoid. Now can be the time to handle with them. But again, keep in mind, you might be more nervous. There might be issues in relationships, in communication, and in your case also when it comes to plans about traveling or education. The other thing which is interesting is that at this point Mercury is also stationary, and this can really mess up our communication and our ability to find compromises. So I highly recommend you to avoid confrontations and some really important discussions that you suspect they might be a little bit too intense, because they may turn out to be much more intense than you have even imagined. On the 20th, I already told you Mercury is turning direct, which is great news because after that you have the green light for some new plans, for a new vision about the future. You can travel, hopefully you are somewhere where it's safe, and soon it will be safe for everyone. Yeah, we have the green light to start the new projects, to, communication can improve. So after the 20th, things should go back to normal. On the 24th, we have a very empowering aspect between Pluto and Mars. It's triggering your water houses, 8th and 12th house. So psychologically, this can be very important. You can heal, you may find the internal resources that you need. That's so important, and the inner motivation to do something. The aspect is also great for things that you are doing privately, and also for some financial activities, investments, and for some healing practices, especially energy practices. They are especially beneficial at this point. On the 25th of February, Venus is ingressing your 10th house and will stay there for a couple of weeks, which is very harmonizing when it comes to your work and business. You may negotiate, you may feel happier about your work, you may receive some benefits or some kind of rewards, and overall you can be emotionally more engaged with your work and with your business. Another positive aspect is triggering your Sun and Uranus in your 12th house. Inspirational aspect and aspect of changes that you can materialize, especially at work and when it comes to your business. Time to be original, innovative, to do things differently, to experiment as well. And finally, on the 27th of February, there is a full moon which triggers your 4th and 10th house. Important one, full moon of manifestation and letting the past go. Those are kind of the key themes. Pay closer attention to your personal life, your family situation, and also your career and your social status. Those are the two areas that you really need to balance around this full moon. And with that, my friends, we covered the most important astrology events during February. If you are interested in a personal reading, if you need some more information, you can check the links in the description below and find all the options that are available. They are a lot. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you next time.